The rain tapped against the windows like impatient fingers as I waited for James to come home. It was past 10 again, the third night this week. He'd texted at 6. Extra meeting with the regional director, big opportunity for the promotion. Might be late. Don't wait up. I'd replied with the usual encouragement, you've got this. Proud of you. Red heart. I believed him. Or at least I wanted to. We'd been married 5 years. James worked in corporate finance at a mid-sized firm downtown. The last 18 months had been relentless. Restructuring, new leadership, whispers of layoffs. He told me the extra hours were the price of staying visible, of proving he was indispensable. One more quarter like this, he said last month over takeout, and the promotion is mine. Director level. Better salary, better hours eventually. We could finally start looking at houses again. I'd nodded, squeezed his hand, ignored the growing distance between us. The late nights, the weekend strategy sessions, the way he sometimes came home smelling faintly of wine and someone else's perfume. I told myself it was stress, networking, the cost of ambition. Tonight the apartment felt colder than usual. I'd made his favorite, roast chicken with rosemary potatoes, but the food had gone cold on the table. I cleared it, wrapped leftovers, tried not to look at the clock every 3 minutes. His phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. He'd left it charging when he rushed out that morning, forgetting it in the hurry. The screen lit up with a notification. I didn't mean to look, but the preview was impossible to ignore. Lila, miss you already. Last night was magic. When can we steal another evening? Kiss mark. Lila. His colleague. The one he'd mentioned casually a dozen times. Bright. Talented. Newly promoted to senior analyst. They'd been working closely on the merger project. She's really good, he'd said once. Keeps me on my toes. My hand moved before my brain caught up. I unlocked the phone. Same passcode he'd used since we met, our wedding date. The messages opened. They stretched back 4 months. The earliest ones were professional. Spreadsheets, meeting notes, late-night clarifications. Then the tone shifted. 3 months ago. Lila, drinks after the pitch? Just us. James, I'd like that. More than I should. 2 months ago. Lila, you looked incredible in that suit today. Hard to focus. James, you have no idea what you do to me. A month ago, a photo from her in a hotel bathrobe, hair damp caption. Wish you were here instead of in that boring conference call. James, soon. I'll make time. Last week. James, I told her it was another late meeting. She bought it. Lila, good. I hate that we have to hide, but I hate waiting more. James, I know. I'm trying to figure out how to do this right. Lila, do you still want the promotion? Or do you want us? There were dozens more. Hotel bookings. Weekend getaways disguised as team offsites. Inside jokes about how they'd celebrate when the deal closed. A voice note from last night, her voice soft, laughing. You left your tie in my room. I'm keeping it. Something to remember you by until tomorrow. I sat on the floor with my back against the cabinets, the phone in my lap, and felt something inside me quietly break. When James finally walked in at 11:30, he looked tired but satisfied, the way he did after a good day at work. He hung his coat, loosened his tie, the same one from the voice note, I realized, and smiled when he saw me. Hey, love! Sorry I'm so late. The director kept us forever, but I think it went really well. He basically said the promotion is mine if I keep this up. I didn't stand up. I just looked at him. His smile faltered. What's wrong? I held up the phone. Lila texted. The color left his face in a single sweep. He didn't move. How much did you see? He asked quietly. Enough. He sank into the chair across from me, elbows on knees, head in his hands. For a long minute neither of us spoke. I didn't mean for it to happen, he said finally. It started as flirting. Harmless. The project was intense. We were spending 12-hour days together, and she just got me. She understood the pressure. You've been so patient, but sometimes I felt like I was failing you by being gone all the time. So you found someone who didn't mind the hours? My voice sounded flat, distant. He winced. No, it wasn't like that. It was escape. She made me feel exciting again. Wanted. Like I was more than the guy who's always tired and apologizing for being late. And the promotion? I asked. Was that real? He looked up, eyes red. Yes, it is. But the extra hours weren't all for that. Some nights I said I was working when I was with her. The honesty felt like a slap. At least he wasn't lying anymore. How long were you going to keep this up? I asked. Until the promotion came through? Until we bought the house? Until I got pregnant and you had the perfect family picture to show everyone? I don't know, he whispered. I kept telling myself I'd end it, that I loved you too much to lose you. But every time I tried, I couldn't. I stood up slowly. I think you already have. We talked until 2 a.m. He told me everything. The first time they kissed in the office parking garage after a late strategy session, the guilt that followed, the way the guilt faded each time he saw her again. He said he still loved me, that he wanted our life together, that he'd end it with Lila tomorrow if I gave him a chance. I listened. I cried. I asked questions I didn't really want the answers to. In the end I said, I need you to leave. Not tonight, tomorrow. Pack what you need and go stay somewhere else. I can't think with you here. He didn't argue. He nodded, tears on his cheeks, and said he understood. The next day, he left with a suitcase and a promise to give me space. I changed the locks that afternoon, not out of fear, but because I needed to feel like the apartment was mine again. Weeks passed. He texted once a week, short messages. I'm in therapy. I've ended things with her. I miss you. I'm sorry. I didn't reply at first. Then one evening in late February I wrote back, I'm seeing someone too. A therapist. I don't know what the future looks like. We met for coffee in March. He looked thinner, quieter. He told me Lila had transferred to the London office. He'd turned down the promotion. He didn't want the job that had cost him everything. He asked if there was any chance. I told him the truth. I still love you, but I don't trust you. And I don't know if I ever will again. He nodded, like he'd expected it. We divorced quietly in July. No screaming matches. No lawyers snarling across conference tables. We divided things fairly, kept the memory civil. He moved to a smaller apartment across the city. I stayed in ours, repainted the bedroom, bought new sheets. Some nights I still smell his cologne on a sweater I haven't given away. Some mornings I wake up reaching for him. But the ache is different now, less sharp, more like an old scar that twinges in the rain. I've started running in the evenings, the way I used to before we got married. I've taken up pottery, something messy and imperfect. I've gone on a few dates, nothing serious, but enough to remember I'm still here, still capable of wanting. The extra hours weren't for a promotion. They were for a different life, one he chose over ours. And somehow, in the wreckage, I'm choosing one too.